Okay, so remember the steps from part one video, okay? And I want you to look at this example we have here, okay? So notice how you're supposed to first identify what is the topic of the paragraph, okay? So let's look at the paragraph, read it together. Since 1883, most American schools have used the A to F grading system, but many experts believe that the current letter grading system is bad for students. One problem is that letter grades are too simplistic. A student who gets feedback in the form of a letter may not understand how to improve. An A doesn't tell a student what she did right, nor does an F tell a student what she did wrong. Another flaw is that schools and teachers are inconsistent in their use of letter grades. An A might be easy to get at one school and very different to get at another school. It is not fair to give students the same grade for different amounts of work. Finally, grades may be inaccurate, with some teachers giving good marks because they don't want to hurt their students' feelings or because they want to help students improve their self-esteem. This sends a confusing message to students who don't do their work. It is also unfair to students who actually try hard to earn grades. Take some time to look at the paragraph and identify the subject or topic. So you should have identified that the subject or topic, in other words, is what? If you need more time, pause before hearing the answer. Okay? Think about who or what the subject is about. Okay? You should have identified that the answer, the subject or topic, is the A to F grading system. Notice how it appears in different ways. It is not just the A to F grading system. It gives you other variations of it, such as A, F, grade. However, there are other keywords that are not highlighted that also indicates you are talking about a grading system. Do you know what they are? One example is feedback. Okay, that's also another form of grades. Another example would be good marks. Okay, so be mindful of the fact that for college level reading, you will not only get a simplistic manner in terms of writing. There will be variations, meaning differences in terms of how the author words a subject. It will not be the same grading system. He or she, in terms of the author, will use different ways of conveying the subject. Now, second step. What is the main idea of the paragraph? Think about, again, our subject, and I want you to write down now, in addition to our subject, what or who is the author, or what is the author trying to say about the topic, okay? So we have one sentence that we need to create in our minds. So take some time right now, pause the video, identify in your own words the main idea. Do not look in the paragraph for the answer. So your main idea should have been along the lines of the A to F grading system has a negative impact in many ways. something along those lines would be considered accurate, okay? Or the A to F grading system can harm a student in many ways, because throughout the text, the author is talking about not only the A to F grading system, but how it can harm a student, right? Okay. Now, look in the passage to see which sentence relates to your or connects to your main idea. Okay, so you should have identified that and of course, if you need to pause, please do so. But you should have identified that the second sentence, but many experts believe that the current letter grading system is bad for students, is the main idea. The first sentence wouldn't be the answer because it is introducing the topic, okay? It is creating an idea of what the author will be talking about, okay? So just be mindful of that. It is very broad. It can mean anything. The remaining portion of the details throughout the passage connects to the main idea, and we will see why very shortly. What I want you to do now is to, again, identify, because we have covered, remember, the first one, the second one, and now we're going to be focusing on the supporting details. So ask yourself now, what supporting details helps to connect to, okay, the main idea, all right? Also look at the key words that will help you to figure out that the author is presenting different types of main ideas, okay? Transitions will also help you in terms of identifying the main idea. So be mindful of that as well. Okay, so your answer in terms of the supporting details, when you're thinking about key points the author is trying to use to support the main idea, would consist of keywords such as one problem, another flaw, finally, okay? And think of it as if these are your body paragraphs in an essay. You would have one body paragraph focusing on this information, okay? Then you'd have a second body paragraph focusing on the following right here in terms of inconsistencies within the letter grading system, okay? And the last one, in terms of your body paragraph, if you were writing an essay, we're just pretending, would be inaccuracies, okay? So you have different key points that's focusing on simplicity, it's inconsistent, and then you have your inaccuracy, okay? Then the author gives you examples. So let's focus on just the first one, for instance, in terms of it being too simplistic. The author would state, a student who gets feedback in the form of a letter may not understand how to improve, okay? An A doesn't tell a student what she did right, nor does an F tell a student what she did wrong. Okay, so the author is giving you specific examples, meaning your minor details, to help support that. Okay, and this would be considered your major detail, your major supporting detail. All right, so again, think about it in that regard in terms of your supporting details. And sometimes the author will not utilize transitions, okay? They will just give you different points, such as too simplistic, inconsistent, and inaccurate, okay? So be on the lookout for when the author is presenting different points. So I want to go back to transitions, okay? This is in reference to patterns of organizations, and you are